And welcome back everyone to our final class of day one, the big tour. And we're going to be kicking off in just a few minutes. We're just finishing off the final touches in the course design here and doing the grounds as well. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is going to be a fabulous event. We have three of the most talented riders in India. We have Neil Kendall, we have Sresht Mantena, and we have Harshiyt. Three riders who have done so well. Going to be added. Three riders. This is going to be very close. They're riding superstar horses. So it's going to be the highlight of the day.
Yes, and Sresht did really well. In the April competition, he did take away the top prize, so he'll be looking to do the same results again today. We do have this as a special round 2 phase, and so that will allow all of the competitors to complete the entire course in this competition. Obviously, if they do drop any fences in the first phase, they will not be counted as a final score.
Yep, and the heights are going to go up to 1.30 meters. So this is some serious jumping, serious excitement. They're going to have you at the edge of your seats.
The riders are already in the warm-up arena, so let's see what they're going to deliver to us later tonight. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are walking through the course fly-through, jumping through first fence and onto left turn into fence number 2 and straight through into fence 3. So it's a very similar course to our previous round. A couple more questions in there and a couple more combinations put in place by our course designer. Right turn through now into the combination at 4AB. A little change there, an oxer going into an upright. But an easy turn again into fence number 5 and then coming through into the top corner to turn onto fence number 6, and this will be the completion of our first phase. This is when the riders will start to really push up the gears, so going over to fence number 7, which is the yellow and white, just coming round on a left turn in front of the clubhouse, looking for our fence number 8. Now in the previous round, some of our riders did cut in there, but I think our riders in this class will keep it safe because this is now a combination 8A and B and heading forwards into the oxer on fence number 9. Again, a swooping turn for the last few fences, the big blue and white number 10, and then a small head turn to fence number 11, completing out our course in our big tour.
So wonderful course designed by our course designer all the way from Egypt, Mr. Sharif Gurab, and giving the riders plenty of opportunities. The jumps have gone up to 1.30 meters, so the heights are up. The course is pretty technical, challenging for the riders. I think with the 3 competitive riders that we have in this class, all of them will have one target, and that is to have a clear round.
Yeah, and we're welcoming back 2 of our competitors who were here in the April edition of the Surge Equestrian League, and that will be Neil riding Hatch and also Sresht riding Dancing Queen, who was our winner in last month's competition. But bringing inside, we have Harshiyt also coming through on Maverick from Kovai Stable. He'll be one to watch as well. We haven't seen him out this season just yet, so he'll be a nice opportunity to watch a nice young rider.
Absolutely, and I think all these 3 riders have done really well in the recent competitions. We've seen them winning FEI Cat A competitions. We've seen them winning last year at the Surge Equestrian League. We saw Sresht Mantena winning, of course, the gold in the April competitions on day 1 as well as day 2. So these guys are young, they're full of energy, and they are riding extremely well. So a good course, challenging course. We'll see what these young riders can do. And we have a non-competitive entry coming in the beginning. That will be Eera Shreeharsha on Holly, representing the United Riders Barn. Okay, correction, she'll be coming in at the end. So after the 3 competitive riders, she'll be coming in 4th. That is a non-competitive round. She had done the round on this very horse in the medium tour, so can't be a competitive entry in the big tour, but a good opportunity to see how her horse does over the bigger jumps, and prepare for the next set of competitions.
Yes, and as we're all just getting ready now to start our final class of this evening, again, a big thank you to all of those sitting up in the grandstand and coming out and supporting the riders and competitors. It's always great to see you out there, so please do keep cheering on our final few riders as we close out day number 1 at our May edition of the Surge Equestrian League.
So a big thank you to our sponsors who make this event possible, starting with the Mantena Group, Skyjets, ABI Attachments, Clip My Horse TV, Divis, TRM, and Equine Nutrients. Their support is invaluable to keep the sport going.
Of course, our officials on the ground this evening, we have in the jury box Bushra Hasabi from Morocco, joined in there with Colonel Javier Singh representing India. And of course, in our warm-up today, we have Shadwa all the way from Egypt.
And just to update all the spectators and competitors in tomorrow's competition, the 2nd of May, we will be starting bright and early. The course walk for the novice tour will be at 6:30 a.m. Please set your alarms. 6:30 a.m. will be the course walk for the novice tour. The first rider will be in at 7.
So we can see on our big screen now the warm-up arena. You can see our riders are just doing their final preparations with their horses, and we will be back very soon with some updates of who is going to go first. So hopefully we'll stay on running order, but it does depend on how prepared our horses are. Sometimes there are little hiccups in the warm-up. But we do believe we are going to stick to the running order this evening, and so we very much look forward to welcoming our first rider.
We have all 4 riders in the warm-up, so they are getting ready. We will have the live action to you in a few minutes. You can see on the screen now is Harshiyt on Maverick. There you have Sresht on that lovely grey dancing queen. And Neil Kendall on Hatch. All just doing their final preparations, getting ready to enter the arena. Last few warm-up jumps just to keep their horses sharp, to make sure they're confident about their takeoff points. They've done enough warm-up jumps to get the horse fine-tuned. Obviously they don't want to do too many and tire the horses out. This is only day 1, so they still have a couple of more days to go.
And what do you think would be the interesting jumps going into this final phase? We've been watching the course all day, so what do you think would be the tricky points?
Well, the course looks very inviting. The jumps are all pretty straightforward. I don't think they'll have an issue with any of the jumps in particular, but it's definitely at this height they need to ride perfectly. They need to keep the rhythm going. I think it's probably the tricky part over here would be the combinations, and of course you have the combinations at 4 and then at 8, so that may pose a challenge, but I think these horses and riders in this competition have enough experience and skill, so shouldn't be a problem for them. They just need to put it all together in one course.
So we do just have a little announcement from our judges box, and to encourage our riders now that if they are ready to make their way into the competition arena, we are waiting for them to start this class. So just a reminder again, this class will remain as a special 2 phase. So all the riders will be allowed to complete all the fences in this round. However, if they do drop any fences in the first phase, their results will not be counted.
So Diane, in this kind of competition, you think it's easier to go in first, or would you think going in at the end would give some benefit to any of the riders?
Well, Sresht went in third all of the April competition and he managed to win both days. So I'm thinking I would like to probably go in at the back end of the class. It gives me an opportunity to see what the other riders before me have done. And some people may call it cheating, but some people just call it the best of luck. And I think our first rider is about to make its way through.
I would almost think going in first, you come in with a clear mind. You've walked the course with your coach, so you kind of know what to expect. And when you see a couple of riders have difficult rounds, that sort of puts some doubts in your mind. So I don't know, at this level of competition, I would almost say going in first gives you a little bit more sort of clarity and less pressure. When you have one rider who goes in and does a really fast round, that kind of puts a lot of pressure on the next rider coming in. But it's going to be different for every competition. It's going to be different for every rider. So let's see what we have in store today.
Absolutely, you have a very valid point. But again, as you said, I think each rider has their own mandate and they know how they want to attack each one of these classes and as well how they want to ride their horse throughout the day. We still are waiting for our first rider to come through. So again, just a reminder to the riders, if we are ready, please do make your way into the competition arena. Our judges are ready to get this class started.
So definitely the biggest jumps of the day, big tour, day one. All the courses will have bigger jumps tomorrow. The heights will go up by about 10 centimeters for the horses doing the next class. So a great way to start.
Yes, and again, we're right at the beginning of the season here at Surge Stables. So lots of work to be done before the season finale, which I believe will be at the back end of the year. So I'm sure these riders are going to be continually training these horses and preparing them every step of the way. We've seen a couple of riders already move up one of the tour sizes, so they are moving through the ranks. And first of all, you need to make sure that you've got a solid foundation for these horses to know that they have the confidence to take on the next big questions.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the nicest things about this competition is it gives you that flexibility. If you are starting off a new partnership, you've just gotten a horse recently, you can start at the lower levels and build up that confidence and go to the higher levels which each subsequent show. There's no restriction. Of course, you can't do that in a particular event, but through the months you can see some horses really developing nicely and going from the small tour to the medium tour or from the medium tour to the big tour. And that's something that I think the riders and horses really appreciate. It's the opportunity to build up through the year, and then of course as we approach the end of the year where we have the FEI World Challenge, we have the Junior Nationals. Those are the competitions that the riders are really looking forward to. And to have your horse peak at that particular time is the best case scenario for most of these riders.
Yes, and it's a great opportunity for all of them. This is what they work towards, this is what their time and effort goes into. So it's really great to have opportunities and competition grounds that give the riders these opportunities to really not only just jump on home ground, but to travel with the horses away, give them new venues, new environments to test out their skills.
And I think to see this is a wonderful thing in India, because the number of shows that we have had in the past has been very few, and it makes it really tough for riders to fine tune and be exactly where they want to be when it matters. And thanks to Surge Stable for having a show almost every month with top class facilities, the riders really get their game on point and can do well when it matters. So having a competition regularly really helps out the horses and riders.
Absolutely, and these riders are still taking a bit of their time. Maybe the nerves have started to rattle a bit, and they just need a bit more time in the warm-up arena before they decide to make their way through into the main arena for the class to begin. Just a reminder to everyone that the prize giving for the entire day one will be held in the main arena at approximately 8 o'clock. So if you did finish in the top 6 on any of the classes earlier today, please do make sure that you are available and around for us to do the prize giving at around 8 o'clock this evening. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, our first competitor in our big tour, Harshiyt Mewrick, representing Kovai.
So we have one rider from Kovai stables and 2 riders from Surd stable. This is going to be an intense competition. Harshiyt Mewrick is the first rider in the arena. It looks like he's ready to go. So we're following the same rules as the previous competitions. Jump number 1 to 6, part of phase 1. And then we move on to phase 2, which will be against the clock.
And a very steady pace going into fence number 1. He just really took his time and settled both his nerves and his horses, I'm sure.
I think these riders in this competition are all very talented. I don't think anyone would want to be approaching a meter 30 fence if they're not in rhythm and they don't know exactly what their horse is going to be doing. Very nicely ridden. You can see the horse rider combination is so in tune.
Little rattle there on fence number 5, but it has stayed up. Moving into the final fence in our first phase.
Nicely done. So now he can pick up the pace. Has to make a choice whether he's going to take some risks or he's just going to go for the clear round. Looks like he's just going for the clear round. And takes down jump number 8A with the front legs. So a little miscalculation on the height of that fence.
Yeah, and also went a bit deep into the takeoff zone there, so did knock it down with the front legs. But now coming into our final fence, and again, final fence pole has gone down, so that will be 8 penalties he takes through with him.
8 penalties. I don't think the time is going to matter too much unless the other 2 riders end up with the same number of penalties. Now he can be hoping that the other riders have a penalty in between jump number 1 to jump number 6.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Time to beat for this evening, aside from the penalties, of course, 31.88. And next in the arena, we welcome back Neil Kendall, this time riding Hatch, representing our home stables here at Sresht.
Yeah, so the timing becomes important only when you have riders with equal number of penalties. And of course, in the rules of this competition, that would be only from jump number 7 to 11.
And that's a very big jump there for fence number 1. And you can see Hash is definitely just getting into this and really attacking these fences. Clear on 2 and 3.
Quite a sweat. And he's firing on all cylinders. And in a speed class, that's what you'd expect a horse to be doing. Got a lovely leap. He actually goes way over the fence.
And cleared through the combination at 4 and 5, and now final fence for first phase is also clear.
So we have both our riders who have gone into phase 2. And if he can wrap this up with less than 8 penalties, that would put him in the lead.
No mistakes there through the combination, and clear over 9. 2 fences to go.
He's taking his time. He knows if he has a clear round, he's in with a great chance. 1 more fence. It's a bending line from 10 to 11.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our clear round of the evening goes to Neil and Hatch from Surge Stables.
So fabulous written round by Neil Kendall on Hatch. No
Yeah.
jumping penalties, a time of 31.71. Is that going to be good enough? We will find out in a second, because the next rider is the last competitive rider in this competition, Shreeharsha Mantena on Dancing Queen.
Yes, now we get to see where the pressure is. Is it seeing the person before you go clear, or is it just staying on your game plan and looking for the clear round by yourself?
It's a lot of pressure, and considering all three riders are below the age of 18, they are doing a fabulous job.
And a much more steady approach into the beginning of his round. Taking a very wide outside leg turn towards fence number 2. Unfortunately dropped the pole on 2.
Yep, so he will be out of phase 2, but he can certainly complete the round if he chooses to. The slightest of taps on the fence just brought down the top pole.
So it does look like he's going to go through and complete the round. So this will probably be a nice training exercise.
It's a good warm-up for the next competition for them, which will be tomorrow evening.
And coming through now to our final few fences. 10 is clear. And clear on 11 as well. So well
Nice
done.
round. Nice round by Shreeharsha Mantena on Dancing Queen. A little unlucky to have jump number 2 down, so he doesn't qualify for the second phase. My guess is that puts him currently in 3rd place. And the last rider, non-competitive rider, is going to be Eera Shreeharsha on Holly TH, representing the United Riders barn. Using this as a nice training round, going through the big course. Going to build some confidence between horse and rider.
And looking very forward and strong there as Eera goes through fences 1 to 3, clear so far, into the combination at 4A and B. Also very nicely done. Clear on 5 and into her final fence in the first phase. Now moving forward to the second phase. Of course, this is a HC round, so this will not be counted in the results, but she is looking very strong out there and quite settled following her earlier class today. Both poles down on the 8AB combination, unfortunately picking up those penalties, but clear on 9. And now turning for our final fence and the final jump for this evening, and clear on 11 there too, Eera and Holly TH. So well done. A big round of applause please from everyone in the stadium, and thank you so much for joining us for this final class of day 1 in the May Surge Equestrian League.
So we wait for the official numbers from the judges.
I would say we have our winner. And very well done there to Neil Kendall and Hatch for their clear round in class number 3. So we are now just moving on to preparing the main arena for the prize giving. So again, a reminder to all of the riders who did ride earlier this evening, if you did place at all in the top 6, please do make sure that you are available and around for prize giving. We will be commencing it very shortly, and just stay with us for the final results to come up on our screen before we can announce the winners.
And we have the results of the big tour, day 1 in
So we have our judge with us in the box, and obviously our winner this evening was Neil Kendall on Hatch, and we just want to get clarification on the placing for Sresht as second place. So yes, just to confirm with us and the judges here as to the final results for our big tour. So we had Neil Kendall in first place on Hach, and taken up second place went to Sresht, and third place went to Harshiyt. Now, just to confirm here with the judge on the basis behind the final decision, we'll pass over to Bushra, who is our judge this evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So for the special two phases, how we are judging this, so we are taking the total penalties on the two phases, and we are taking in consideration the time for the second phase only. However, if a rider he dropped a jump in the first phase and he's clear on the second phase, so we are taking the 4 faults plus the time of the second phase. And if he was clear on the first phase but he dropped 2 jumps or 3 jumps on the second phase, so we are taking the time total of the second phase with the time of the second phase. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our judge this evening, Bushra Hasabi from Morocco. We are just making the final preparations for our prize giving, and we will be back with you shortly. What's the result? So we are ready to start our prize giving, and we will be starting it with our medium tour. So in 6th place in the medium tour goes to Basav Raju riding Quintet.
In 5th place, we have Hiba Gabriel on Freezing Rain. So the 6th place rider gets prize money of 6,250 rupees. The 5th place rider, Hiba Gabriel, gets a prize money of 9,375.
4th place went to Gatika Tikishetty riding Shreeharsha. She's taking away 15,000 rupees.
And on to the placings. Dishant Anil in 3rd place on Kanyo takes home prize money of 25,000 rupees.
2nd place went to Prateef Krishna on Farrell and taking away with him this evening total prize money of 31,250.
Big smiles from all the prize winners. So waiting for our 2nd place rider. Prateef Krishna is on the podium. And the winner of the competition, Neil Kendall on Sandra Blue. So definitely having a great day today. He's going to take home a cash prize of 37,500. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the winners of the medium tour day 1. Give them a big hand, big smiles, wave at the drone.
Moving forward now to our small tour, we have in 6th place Sresht Mantena riding Mowgli, taking with him 3,750 rupees.
In 5th place, Aradhana Anand on Charlie, taking home 5,625.
4th place again went to Gatika Tikishetty, this time riding Valentine, taking with her 9,000 rupees.
Geetika on Valentine in 4th place. In 3rd place, Hiba Gabriel on Ascot, taking home 15,000 rupees.
In 2nd place, we had Senthil Nathan riding Mabel, taking away with them this evening a total of 18,750 rupees.
And winning the competition with an absolutely fabulous clear round was Ajay Shiva on Coco Kananzi, representing Surge Stable.
A big congratulations and applause for all of our winners. And if we can have our group picture and everyone looking at the drone, please.
These are the winners of the Small Tour Day 1. The Surge Equestrian League May 2026.
And moving now into our winners for the Big Tour Day 1. In 3rd place went to Harshiyt riding Mewrick from Kovai. If Harshiyt is out there, please, if you can come to the main arena. And I think here he comes, yes.
So we have Prateef Krishna taking the prize on Harshit's behalf. 3rd place in the Big Tour, Day 1. In 2nd place was Shreeharsha Mantena on Dancing Queen.
And our winner in our class, Big Tour, Neil Kendall riding Hatch, representing Surge Stables. And a big round of applause to our winners of the Big Tour. Big smiles all round, looking at the cameras, everyone. And a very well done to all of our competitors, not just those who finished out in the podium finishes, but to everyone who took part today. Thank you too to all of your supporters and our spectators for coming out and making our first day of the May edition such a fun and fabulous afternoon. A big thank you as well to our host venue here at Sresht Stables and all of the ground team, as well as all of our officials coming out and putting on this wonderful show.
So we will be back tomorrow morning, the 2nd of May. The course walk for the novice tour will be at 6:30 a.m. with the first rider at 7 a.m. So bright and early, followed by the small tour in the morning. And similar to today, we will have the medium, small and big tour in the afternoon tomorrow. So 2 events coming up tomorrow morning, starting at 6:30 a.m. at the Sresht Stable, Bengaluru.
We believe it's going to be quite a warm day tomorrow, so please do remember to put on your sunscreen. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you tomorrow.